สวัสดีครับเจนครับผมไปรูมิดKaren Rumit Village นะครับ Chiang Rai. Okay, it's been a bit of a hectic morning, so we've just gotten going. We've got Jackie on the bicycle. I gave her a quick little clean last night. I looked over it back over this morning. I'm like, you know what? I didn't actually do too good of a job, did I? In the dark, that is, but especially on the rim at the back. But it's all good. We're off and running. If you're around the other day, we went for the on Twitch. We went for a ride down to the Kok River, and we did the cruise down there, down by the Kok River, and yeah, it was good. The only thing is the reception was really not too great for us. But you know what? Let's move and talk at the same time. That's a bit better. So I took you for the ride down by the Kok River the other day. It was beautiful weather then, and it's beautiful weather now. So I figured I'm busy this evening, getting some things ready for the festivities, the festive season, and yeah, thought I'd take you for another ride. The bike's feeling really good. We had a few adjustments made recently at Pigop, our bicycle mechanic fixed that up for us. So as we can see here, we've raised the handlebars up, so I'm not crouching over the bike like a hunchback of Notre Dame, and so it's feeling a lot better for the back as well. So yeah, as you can see, beautiful weather, Chiang Rai, and we're currently heading east. Depending on how long I yap on and what we film will depend on how long it takes us. So thanks for stopping by. Let's go for the ride. Anyone that's been around for a bit, oh, be careful not to stack it, since I'm one-handed here. We're not running with a GoPro. We are running with a GoPro. We're not running with a mount, I mean to say. So we get the really super dynamic handheld version for you, which I'm actually not opposed to, because we did that other Kok River ride with the dynamic arm mount, and it wasn't too bad, was it? Amongst the disconnects with the Twitch signal. But yeah, see how we go this time, eh? But yeah, if you've been around before, you know that up on the side here, beautiful weather, beautiful in the shade, beautiful in the sun. We take you down to Pattaya soon. Oh, sorry, Chiang Rai Beach. Actually, that's a bit of a story. Chiang Rai Beach is like a little, there you go, there's a sign for it. We'll have the flower festival there soon. And historically, people in Chiang Rai have always called it Pattaya. So when I had some friends say to me, oh, are you riding down to Pattaya? I said, well, no, that's a little far. Don't get me wrong, I like a good you know, bike ride, but Pattaya might be a little bit far for this old girl anyway. She's a beast and I love her, but I don't think I'd do that to her. But yeah, anyways, back in the day, it was always called Pattaya. But it just goes by Chiang Rai Beach now. And yeah, I'll take you down there the next few days. have a look at the flower festival and whatnot. But if you've been around for any of the live streams, you know that I've taken you up here, up in the hill up here, to the Wat Mangrai Maharaj multiple times to do a little bit of meditation, to take in the scenery, talk about the iconography and the symbols and whatnot. Yeah, just cruising now. This little cafe on the right hand side here. It's very, very new. Been opening for maybe about a month or two. Very festive. Santa Claus out the front. Anyone that doesn't know, Santa Claus is red because of the Coca-Cola company back in the day. Bit of history there. You go and Google that. It's quite interesting. But yeah, cruising along. We'll probably stop for a coffee at some point along the way. We went by, I suppose if you rewind the video, I don't know if I captured it in the frame, but the Bermuda Cafe, that's a good little small one. It was on the left hand side there a little while back. But yeah, just cruising, coming up to a bit of a hill soon. It's interesting, that high-ace van there with all the bikes on the top. Oh, by the way, that flooding that was in Chiang Rai came all the way up to here. That direction is the Chiang Rai beach. All this road was flooded. And I'll take you down there at a later date, and then you'll get an idea of how much water that is. We've had our serving of fresh fruit this morning in the form of a mango smoothie. Momoang, nam polamai, nam polamai. Polamai being fruit, nam being water. You're essentially saying water fruit. So in other words, fruit juice. We had a mango, one of those with a little bit of milk, a little bit of sugar. And then we had some deep fried bananas and some deep fried sweet potato. Now, obviously, that it being fried isn't the greatest thing for a bike ride. However, potatoes, bananas, and mango is pretty much spot on with the carbohydrate load and the simple sugars that your body can just dig into. So I just pulled over for a brief second there and swapped the lens angle. Maybe that'll be a little bit better for you guys. I'll probably go back and forth on the different angles, lens angles, as we cruise along. But yeah, as you can see, the bicycle, she's buttery smooth now. He got that all dialed in. Bit of an issue with that stem there, where it must have like seized up or something. Hadn't been, you know, freed up for quite a while. And got the mallet out and got a bit of 4x2. Gave it a bash, got her all unstuck, re-lubricated her, and then I got him to pull her up a bit so she's a bit higher. She's pretty much at the max now. What I was finding was the legs were good in length, you know, when you on the downstroke just before full extension. But then I found myself hunching quite a bit. Coming up to a bit of a hill here, so I might get a bit all over the shop. with this dynamic arm gimbal mount. Bear with us. Now, go, go. I hope you guys appreciate the fact that it ain't a mountain bike, fixed gear city bike, but she's a beauty, made in Japan. Go, 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 ah, see, ah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, song, ah, see, ah. Oh. Got to get all that blood moving, eh? Once we get the heart rate up a little bit, get the blood pumping, she'll be right. Coming down to the intersection here. Oh, okay, off we go. There you go, beauty of the bicycle. You don't have to stop at the checkpoint. At least not at that one anyway. I'll be happy to, but even better if you don't have to, because off you go. Oh, yep. The thighs are starting to wake up a bit now. Feel that blood from that hill. That fresh bit of blood getting through them. Beautiful day, as we can see. Hong intersection. So we are heading west along the Kok River. Get some nice shots over the water there. Like I said earlier, we'll stop at a cafe and have something to drink along the way as well. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're well in mind, body, soul and spirit. But if you're not, tomorrow's a new day. The next day after that, just keep that in mind. And su, fight, su. Okay, nice little downward hill for us. I would have noticed on the last time I went along the Kok River, I stopped at a few little temples along the way. May do that in this video, we might not. We'll just see how we go. See what happens, eh? This temple on the side here being one of the ones we stopped at. It's quite closed at the time. Along we go. Beautiful day in Chiang Rai. We're coming up to the prison soon. We'll pass that. That'll be on our right hand side, Chiang Rai Central Prison. And on the left hand side, a little further down the road, there is, now give me a moment to remember the name, Dan, D-A-A-N, Dan Doi Hang. Dan, Doi Hang, Doi being mountain, Dan being like sub-district kind of thing, I believe. And then Hang being like the, or one of them, Dan being the province maybe, and then the sub-district, Dan, Doi Hang. Anyways, it's like a little, there's a little cafe there. There was an initiative of one of the princesses. And tell you what, I went there the other day and the coffees were spot on. Absolutely spot on. I was very happy about that. Went there with a friend of mine. It's a school teacher. Took a bus of the kids along and checked out like the vineyard there. All the they have all like herbs and different things growing, and then they have animals. So yeah, it's like a little nature park kind of thingamy-bob. And yeah, it's an initiative where people from the prison can go and work in there, and yeah, it's really cool. Like, they've got music going and stuff, and yeah, it was good. It was a good little outing as we approach this next hill. Okay, Lao, let's go. Go. Up we go. This hill is considerably steeper than that other one. Look at that. Up she goes. And this is the good bit where we go downhill. Nice little open section on the left you'll be able to see. I'll film that as well. So we're going to be hanging a right here. A right-hand turn taking us past the prison, over the bridge and onto the north side of the Kok River. You could always go this way, go straight ahead, Drong Bay. You could always go straight by Dan Doi Hang Nok. That's the way we can come back. Okay. A little bit of a hill, 2 turns later. We've got the prison on our right hand side. And if I remember correctly, there's a little jingjaw out the front. It's a little jingjaw. Jingjaw being kangaroo. G'day, mate. And a little jelly in the pouch. We'll go down here. A little bit of a left-hand turn, a little bit of a right-hand turn. We'll have the cafe on our left-hand side, and then we'll have the bridge in front of us, which we'll cross in a moment. And down the hill we go. So here you go. Got some nice little tree houses in there as well. That's the cafe I was referring to. They do have massages in there as well. It was out of action the other day when I was there. But they do have it. Then we've got all the animals in here. Frogs, peacocks, emus, goats, turtles. And we're coming up to the river. cross over in a second. You can see just how much damage the wall's cut away there. That's the Kok River heading into town. Okay, if you were with us on the live stream a few days ago, you would have seen us stopping at this little cafe on the right hand side. I'm just wondering if I do the same now. You know what, I might keep going. I really need the caffeine. That's a nice little one. Hug Him Kok is the name. Kok being the Kok River. If you're noticing any little kind of squeaking going on, that's essentially my seat having given the bike a bit of a clean up. Seat gets a little bit squeaky after it gets a bit of a wash and a wax and a, you know, of an oil. There on the left hand side, that's little Barbers. I was commenting on that last time as well. Could stop in there and get him to potentially fix up the 3 bad haircuts I've had in a row. And over there, if you see that Buddha statue and you're here for the live stream, you remember that we went over there. Little Solitude Island in the middle of the river there. It's going to start getting a little bit more serious in a moment in regard to the mountains and the force I'm going to have to use to get up them. Pineapples again over the hill. Guys down here fishing. Some nets. I'll dip down into here, show you how you get down to that Buddha statue. It's actually not on Google Maps, funnily enough. Get to it across there. Now I believe there used to be, we sussed this out on the live stream last time, I believe there used to be like a bridge across from the back of the temple. Where I went past that cafe, that was on our right, on our left was a temple, and there used to be a bridge, supposedly. Ain't no bridge anymore, I can tell you that. So we got this little thing. Okay, let's go back up here, turn left and start heaving up the mountain, yeah? Don't think I told you this earlier, but underneath our jumper there, we got a big 1.5, 2 litre bottle of water with a bunch of electrolytes. I've already smashed about 1.5, 2 litres of water this morning. And then there's another 1.5 to 2 litres there. More pineapples again. This hill is actually manageable, but it's going to get into some big ones, and you have to forgive me if I jump off. Let's go. Now. Beautiful day. Beautiful. Soy, nut. Very beautiful. On we go. Actually, I'll take you in here real quick. Oh, actually, no, I just past what I'm thinking of. Let's do a quick loop-de-loop. I'll take you in over here. Oh, wait. I'm tripping out. I swear it's over here. Yeah, is that it there? That's it. There you go. So this give you a little bit of a view of the river. The back of a couple of the nice houses that are along here, actually. Beautiful, beautiful trees. Yeah, we'll turn around. We'll post up here for a second and I'll give you a little glimpse, eh? Okay, we won't dilly-dally too much. Keep it moving. Back on the Jackie-Yan. But there's a first kind of good little glimpse, I suppose. Let's go. Or let's oge, as some people would say. Australians will understand the reference to that. Maybe not some other countries. There ain't no kebabs here, I can tell you that. Actually, it's not true. In town there is a kebab store. It's fairly close to where I am. I haven't tried them though. Swadee. Some kids mucking around. But yeah, I mean, what do you say about this weather, right? Very, very cool little bungalows there, yeah? Very cool. With the Lana style roof and everything. Yeah, what do you say about the weather, other than it's just spot on, yeah? You wouldn't believe it. This film's probably a decent little amount there. GoPro and I had it filmed. Right. Oh, I'll tell you what though. You know what I didn't take into account with the dynamic arm tripod? What I didn't take into account was having gone to the gym last night. Doing chest and then doing traps as well. So the shoulders aren't too bad. I did them the day before yesterday. I'll tell you what, when I've got it held up high, we get a bit of a burn. This is quite picturesque, this little spot. Palm trees, and even with the tractor going, you know. If I was smart, I'd stop for a picture, yeah. However, that other angle was better back there. But you know what? I won't get too caught up with that. Always do that another time. There's a couple of, see those houses up there? That's where we're going to be coming back. So we're going to go up here. We're going to loop across after we've gone through a bit of mountains. Loop over the bridge, and then we're going to come back on this other side up through the mountains. And we actually pass that house over there. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. Let's keep going, yeah? Loud. Kind of can't get over it, the weather. It's winter now in Chiang Rai. And so that means that nighttime is quite a bit colder. And it's not unmanageable, like it's quite nice, and a lot of people actually really like it. But like on a day like this, where in this shade, it's just got that nice little bit of a breeze, it's nice and cool, and in the sun it's nice and warm, it's spot on, absolutely spot on. So you out on the bicycle whipping around up through the mountains, you know, you can't beat it. And I'll tell you what, if you like Thai food and you like to not just look at it, but you like to eat it, you inevitably have to exercise. And I think, personal opinion, that the trusty old two-wheel bicycle is the way to go. Not just for not just for staying trim and whatnot, but you know, scooters are good if you're going longer distances and things. But inevitably, scooters are a lot more dangerous because you're doing higher speeds as well. And anyone that's been around for a while would no doubt have seen quite a few bodies hit the pavement. I swear within the last 2 weeks, let me think about 1, 2, 4 or 5 people the last 2 weeks. And I'm not even in a super touristy spot either. So you can imagine in places like Phuket this time of year, at this time of year, another friend is down there streaming at the moment. Local person from Chiang Rai. It's a Twitch streamer, and has just gone down there in the last 2 days to do Christmas content down in Phuket, and she was out on the Win, the scooter the other day, and it was hell. The amount of people that were around is crazy. Okay, up the hill we go. Okay, just got to the top of that little hill. Look at the view out there. Yeah? The river. I was commenting on the live stream about how steep this hill is with the pineapples. It's next level. You get a workout harvesting them for sure. This is the first big hill that's going to whip us, I tell you. I'm going to have to jump off it at some point, but we'll give it a crack, yeah? Okay. Let's go Ban Santi Suk. That's where we're going. Let's go. Oh, GoPro in one hand. Ah, let's go. This first hill's okay. We'll whip around to the left and then around to the right, and that next one is killer. Again, fixed gear bicycle. Keep that in mind, please. Ooh. Ooh. So. Let's go. Now. Oh. Oh. Ah. Ah. Oh. Ooh. Ah. Ah. Oh. You know, it ain't just the fact that it's a fixed gear bicycle. It's the elevation, like the oxygen in that as well, yeah? Okay. Down we go. I'm well aware that the angle I took that corner at was super, well, just not ideal. One-handed though, and the GoPro, so I'm just trying to play it careful. Pug Park. See the big pug up the top. We're gonna whip it along in the little car. That's pretty cool, yeah. Okay, get a bit of a breather in. Actually, there's a different temple down here that I've tried to go to it 3 or 4 times. It's always been shut, so let's whip into the left over here and we'll see if it's open. Down here to the left. I might be able to see the gate from here. No, I cannot. I cannot. Oh my die. Again, look at the weather. Look at the serenity. I want to know what that is in there. I've never looked into that. There you go. Actually, it's open. We'll whip in here and see what they're about. Looks like a small one, right? This is the main. Meditation hall open? That's the question though. So that's part of where we'll be coming back on the other side as well. You see over there? And then that's where that mountain starts to whip up in that section. But you can get good photos from that hill looking back over here when the sun's setting in that direction. But there's another little view. There you go, there's a view of that main meditation hall. Quite a nice Buddha image as well. It's all locked up at the moment. So we will continue. You know what we'll do in the meantime, we might just post up here for a couple of quick seconds, a minute or two, have a bit of electrolytes and allow you to charge up a little bit, GoPro. Be back in a second. Alright, a couple minutes to chill, get a bit of hydration, get a bit of charge. I've plugged you in now though. Quick loop to loop, make sure the cord's straight. And off we go. I'm not looking forward to this next big hill. It is what it is. We're gonna do it regardless. How's that rear wheel looking? It seems a bit flat to me. Feels it as I'm pedaling. Water sloshing around in front of the basket. Oh well, you're getting the river experience, aren't you? It's not all that polished. Raw and uncut. Lam Nam Kok National Park. We're going to pull up a little bit short of that place. There's like a hot spring and stuff out there, but it's been closed for quite a while actually. I'll have to go out there at some point and suss it out. Yeah. All right, there you go. That little bit of breeze at the top of the mountain there, there's quite nice. Okay, here we go. This is the hill I'm referring to. It's gonna whip me. Let's see how we go. It's just the angle of it. No. It's funny because I did further than that last time, but whatever. They might be chopping up some chickens down there. Shout out to the wharang I saw coming through here last time on the sports bike, on the road bike, getting amongst it. I've got my bike mechanic looking out for a road bike for me at the moment, so he'll let me know when something comes up. In the meantime, we battle on the single gear city bike. Okay, down the hill we go. Glad I posted up here for a second before going down the hill so old mate could go past. If I have to ditch you, I have to ditch you, because my brakes and my life is a little bit more important than a video, but I'll do my best. Maybe just take it easy. Jai Yan Yan. Sorry about the wind noise. It is what it is. Top there, something up the side. Spot. Actually. As well. See if I can get this camera around with this. Dynamic arm gimbal. Tried and tested. This cool little shop on the side here. But I think it's either on this hill or the next hill. There's a cool little cafe, and I hope it's open, because if it's open, we'll go in there and grab something to drink. There's a nice view, but if it's not the end of the world. We'll get one at the next spot. Stop here for a moment and get a bit of a view. Just take out a quick little breather. Squeaky little seat again. Charger with us. How's that for a bit of a shot of the Kok River? Down there, you see those little houses down there? There's a little coffee shop down there as well, the one to the right. There's nothing stopping us necessarily going down there and getting some cool photos off that tree that's fallen, but for the moment, I'm gonna pass on that. So if you come up here and you're after a quick rest stop, there's facilities here that you can use. Look at someone else on a bike heading in the opposite direction. Would have been good to say hi. Looks like it might have been a farang. I don't know. That's okay. But yeah, look at the weather. Yeah, I've said it a million times during the. I was about to say stream because I'm used to Twitch. Killer weather. Yeah. Let's keep going, eh? This next hill that we go down, it's going to be good. It'll give you a good shot down over the river there. It loops around, get a bit of pace going down there. It'll look quite nice. Tell you what though, this seat is super squeaky. San Prapum up the top there. The hill. Beep beep. In there. Look like she's open. But yeah, little bungalows. Pretty cool, yeah? Well, let's go. I really do think a chest mount would be good. Holding it in the hands, probably not ideal, yeah? Nice view up here as well. We'll stop here for just one memento. Have I said how beautiful the weather is today? I don't know if I've said that yet. There you go. Ruamit. Karen Village. Karian. Sway much. Let's keep going, team. And that little loop-de-loop that I said is really nice is just down here around this corner. There's, I think there's a little cafe called Curve Cafe or something like that as well. Hence the curve. Let's hit it. I'll wait for this motorbike to zip past us and then we'll be on our way. Okay. You know what? I could get your view up in there real quick. I'll do that. A little bit of the angle on the whole thing. being extra mindful of the traffic on this loop-de-loop and the fact that this corner whips around to the left quite heavily. So I love to go at full speed for you for your viewing experience. However, for my life experience, I might take it a bit slower, be a bit more responsible, at least on this first corner, and then I'll let go and then we'll zoom around about here. There we go. If you were here for the stream a few days ago on Twitch, you'd remember this little cafe, left hand side. Old mate was quite nice, he gave me a free little biscuit. You know what? Let's stop in there. I'll give you a bit of view of the water and we'll grab a little coffee, eh? Why not? Why not? There ain't no rules. We make the rules. At least when we're out on the Jackie Arm. Latte long. Cup. Quick coffee, bit of cake, some water as we continue on. We'll essentially be heading, we'll be going in this direction, across the river and back on the other side, up through this mountain. In the meantime, okay, off we go. Quick little coffee, and nice enough to throw in a little bit of cake as well. Anyone that was around for the live stream, again, the last time we came out this way, would have seen the little, what were they, butter waffle cookies that old mate gave us. We made a point of giving him a good tip. Not long we go, not too long, and we'll be at the bridge. There's some massive river pythons and stuff that you can look at down here. First time I went down to it, I was like, I got taken down to it. I didn't know that's what was down there. And once I figured it out, I was like, yeah, nah, not really into that. I'm cool with snakes, like coming from Australia. I'm fine with snakes, animals and stuff, but I'm not going to go and look at massive river pythons and that just for the fun of it. However, there's a decent view down here, so I'll take you down here real quick. Can't remember if this is the road that goes down to them or not. I think it is actually. We'll get a shot of the river. It actually is, they're down in there to the right. It's a hell if I'm going to go in there and look at them. That seat's squeaking away. It's the big Karen Methodist Church. Heaps of murals on the outside and inside. You should be able to see that straight up ahead. Yeah. Anyways, we'll continue on. Heading left, heading up to the bridge, and then crossing over. Just a memento. So there you go, team. Making our way along. You can see the riverbank over on that side's worse for wear after those recent floods that we've had. But even more so with the bridge that we're going to come up to. You'll notice something a little different about the bridge. Maybe you can pick it out from here already, I'm not sure. Essentially, well, it's essentially a new bridge, kind of. Like, it got knocked down in the floods, and then they've gone and put like a temporary / maybe it's going to stay thing there. I'll show you. We'll get up there in a sec. And we take a left. We're at the bridge. I might even actually turn right and go out to the old hot spring. Let's see what's going on, because it hasn't been open for ages, but and just have a look around maybe, I don't know. The liquor paint. So here you go, you see what I mean? Old one just collapsed, so there's this. We got this now. Let's see. See the bridge. What was the old bridge is now down there. The Jackie Yarn's holding up beautifully. She's going well. Ticking along nicely. Thanks to Kok servicing her up, putting a new rear spline or rear whatever it was in. There you go. And you see the devastation. The floods. In the meantime, there's a bridge here. It's working. We'll actually leave that hot spring for another time. Passeret, is that it? There you go. There's some farang. I wasn't 100% sure if that first one was a foreigner or not. But if it was, we're 3 farang deep at the moment. Well, no, we're not. That's 4. If the first one was a foreigner, and then guy at the coffee shop, and these 2, that's 4. Then myself, that's 5. Nong song sam si ha. Look at that. That's a cool little angle for you, isn't it? Got a car going across at the same time. Yeah. There you go. It's good, yeah? Okay, now the nice bit starts. Not that it hasn't been nice so far, because it clearly has been very, very nice. But we get to go along this side of the mountain, which is a lot more shaded, and it's going to be nice and cool. Hence why we brought the jumper with us, just in case. You know what I'll do is unplug you from the charger. We'll get that. We'll get that dynamic arm gimbal. Now, what's another? 2024, everything's about like word salad and making things sound better than what they are, right? So, what would we call it? Dynamic, because we are dynamic, we're moving around, so that's okay. But we don't want to say arm. We want to say it's another word for arm that actually sounds like technical and cool and super uppity. Ban Me Kok. Simple name. Ban being home. Me, mother. Kok River. Ban Me Kok. Last time we came this way, if you remember, we smashed over some potholes. Smashed over some potholes going hectically fast through here. We somehow bent this. So we had Gop fix that up for us. What we'll do, let's get around this corner and up the hill. I know that looked like he was coming purposely doing that, but he wasn't. He was just getting around the potholes. Something that I'm gonna have to be conscious of as I go around here. Oh, okay, here we go. Up. I'll try and show you some of these little houses amongst the forest along the river, because there's some really cool little, you know, kickboxer style, you know, Uncle Sian style you know, houses as I pedal up the hill in a seated position. But if you're still with us after however minutes into this video, thanks for coming by. There's your elephant park. Thanks for popping by. Hope you're enjoying the kind of the chill side of it all. Not all that polished. That's how we like it. We're just getting it done. Let's hold up here for a sec and change the viewing angle for your viewing experience. Okay, how's that? 16mm. That's kind of cool, yeah? And you can see how much cooler it is up in the mountain just by the color and the shade and the... So that's nice. Not that it's too hot in the sun at the moment by any means. But it's nice to be able to have that contrast and go back and forth. Bungalows down there as we cruise up the side of the mountain. Okay, let's get those legs moving. Let's get that blood moving. Oh, how's that rear tire looking, team? From my perspective, like it's on the flat side. So, and then I get along spots like this and it doesn't look like all that steep, but I'm like, I don't know, there's something about it because I start to labour. It could be the altitude, it could be any number of things, or it might just be steeper than what I can see with my eyes as our little seat cushion squeaks away underneath us. Sorry about that. It is what it is. Last time I came along here, I was whipping it so hard, hence bending the handlebars and everything. Well, not bending them, it's like something just obviously needed to tighten it up and straightening. Because that's what we did to fix it. But I was whipping it through here. A bunch of other guys came back in the opposite direction, all on like proper road bikes and mountain bikes and that. All the gear. I'm whipping along, I think in this section here. One guy went past me, and then a group went the other way. Give them all a bit of a laugh and a wave and a nod. It's the thing, man, like, I'll give them a run for their money. Even if they got a sports bike, I'll keep up for a little bit before I gas. But I'll tell you what, your thighs get awfully strong pretty quickly. This bike, since we're in chat mode at the moment, we're just cruising. I've done over 1,600 kilometers on this in well under 12 months. So I've had it for about 2 and a bit years. But I've done about 1,300. Oh, those houses look worse for wear from the floods. Done about 1,300 kilometers in the last 6 months, which is not heaps, but at the same time, factoring in how hot it is, or how hot it can be, or it has been, until we've just kicked into winter now, and it's a city bike. Fixed gear, I think we're doing alright, eh? There we go. Sorry about the wind noise. If there's wind noise, it is what it is. Oh, here we go, now we dodge this. Or don't, and we just plow through it. There's only a limited amount of stuff I can do with one arm. Oi. Push that back up. We don't need that falling down. Oh, as we go off the side of the road. Looking like a real amateur right now. It's okay, because we are. We're not professionals here. We're not trying to be either. It is what it is. Alright, team. Let's go. I'm spewing about that. You see, we've got a little bit of a rip in our seat. I got this new seat put on a while ago, and I do have a rear rack and a seat that goes on the rear. And I was whipping around town with a friend of mine on the back. Like, I've ridden this from the city all the way to the White Temple, all the way up to Bandu at Pong Prabat with another person on the back. But that's when I was riding like essentially every day. Whereas I had a little bit of a hiatus from riding because we had a few issues with the rear. You see that bolt? It's like the rear, the sprocket, or yeah, whatever you call that. That bolt that goes through. Something seized up and sheared off, and I didn't have all the tools that I could fix it myself, so I got Pig Up to fix it up. And what's that? Oh yeah, it's our USB cable. You know what? That's good that that just happened. Thank you. Thank you, Tewada, Kopun Mark, that happened, because that reminds me to plug you guys in, because you're at 7% battery. We don't want to lose ya. Lose ya. Very Australian accent. Am I going a little bit stir crazy with the altitude and having a coffee and everything? Why do I feel like I am a little bit? Some nice frangipani trees here. As we go along. Go. Yeah, beautiful view off the side of the mountain. It's a long pineapple. Our water sloshing away in the front. Could probably take this opportunity to have a sip, yeah? Yeah, we'll do that in a moment. As our seat. Wait, I didn't even finish talking about my seat. The seat, I bought a new seat. And it wasn't not too long after I bought the seat. Let's jump off so I can show you. That happened. The stitching started pulling away a bit. You can tell I used the thing, yeah? Oh, these are new brake cables as well. But yeah, not too happy about that. The place did, the people said that they'd happily swap it over for another one, or just trade it in and then pay a bit more and get the next one up. But when it happened, it was all flooding, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna. It's not that big of a deal. I don't want to stress them out with that type of stuff. They're too busy cleaning the mud out from their store and dealing with all of that, you know. So it's all right. You can always get it patched up at a later date. She's fine. And yeet. Beautiful, nice and cool, natural AC at the moment. Natural. Can't beat it. Nice fresh air from all the trees, taking in the carbon dioxide, outputting fresh oxygen. River running down beside us, lots of positive chi energy flowing in the same direction that we're going. If you want to be all feng shui and eastern about it. Shout out to John, the Taoist alchemy. We're channeling the natural flowing chi at the moment, zipping in and around the potholes, not in a linear. Oi! Just got around that one. Okay. Let's go up this hill. Swadee! Hello, hello! A bunch of young kids. They don't exactly expect some random farang on a city bike. It's all good. Tell you what, I should probably stop yapping and maybe start having a little sippy sip. Because that's what I said I'd do a moment ago, right? And see what I mean? Like if I went into that speed, I can only bash into a number of them before the tube gives out. Let's take this opportunity to have a breather and a little bit of a sippy sip. Nam, water. Nam. How quiet is it? It's not just quiet, it's still at the tops of the hill, the trees. How's the serenity? There you go, quick little sip of water. Nam. I struggle with the word for drink though. Doom. I can't pronounce it right. It's like, you can open a new tab or Google Translate and type in drink and it's like, I can't pronounce it correct. Doom. Doom. I'm just like monotone with it. Doom nam. It's difficult for me anyway. There you go, there's a free little flip-flop if you want one. You know where to get it. Oh, see, that's beautiful. That bit of sun punching through, nice and warm. Ah, oh, love it. Love it. You know what, that's, I don't know. That's bearable for me, that sound, but it's probably not bearable for you. So how about I jazz this around? See if I can. It's fine. Keep your eyes open, team. Lucky I got the charge into you guys, because you're down to 7%. That would have been no good if I couldn't have. Well, it's not the end of the world, but it's nice to bring you along with me. It's like I've got a team coming along. What do you think? Like a chest mount. That's holding it just under my chest. If I was to get a chest mount. But it wouldn't be as dynamic. See, I wouldn't be able to go bam, bam. Like all these wild movements. And you'd have to like unclip it to be able to move it around. And it's fairly light, the GoPro. It's not super heavy. Some bamboo trees in there. Look how still it is though. Let's take a moment to just yut. Yut being like stop or break. So you can take in the sound. as I flick a spider off my hat. Sorry, broke the Serenity. I wonder what type of trees these are in here, because I think they're fruit, some type of fruit. This house in here is pretty cool. This is the Uncle Sian style. If you're not sure what I'm talking about when I say Uncle Sian, I'm referencing the original boxer movie, JCVD, classic. The OGs know. Wiggle the palm tree. I can't. You want me to break my leg? Your brother. Remember? You don't want to fight. Take your bags and leave my house. You don't want to train. Pretty iconic scene for those that know, that are into Muay Thai, that were into like the 1980s, 1990s martial arts action movies. And a big reason why a lot of people got into things like Muay Thai back in the day, being exposed to that culture and that subculture in Thailand through movies. Give me Tong Po. I want Tong Po. Tell me that ain't just awesome, these little houses in here, and how the sunlight's filtering through the trees. So why, mate? So why muck, mate? Let's move it around. Let's go. Oh, you know what though? If you're here for the stream, a few days ago, there's a temple along here, a different one, that I said I'd take you up to. And I will hold to my word on that, and I'll take you up there. River Creek there with some ducks in it. Another little Uncle Sian house. That's what I'm calling it anyway. You could call it Sian Barn, or Barn Sian. If you were with us moments ago, we're learning how to say home, barn. Some frangipani trees. House, no, not a house, that's some animals, isn't it? Just the type. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. I hope you're enjoying the not stream, because this is the first, well, technically the second not stream. Because the first one was when we went to the Dan Doi Hang Cafe and whatnot with the guys from the prison. And that was only a few days ago, and this is the second one that's actually not a Twitch live stream. It's all a little bit different, not doing it live, but we can skirt the disconnection issues up in the mountains by doing it this way. I hope you're enjoying. I'm going to zip down here and we're going to end up at another temple in a moment. Farm stay salad, steak, repair shop in there, some guys repairing some of the bikes. And I've never been into this temple, so this isn't the one I was referring to just earlier. I'm thinking to take you in there. Let's post up and we'll go for a walk up there and we'll have a look, yeah? Okay, get the bicycle posted up. Let's go for a walk. I'm not sure where the main meditation hall is. I'm guessing it's up the hill. What are these, you ask? Naga being the male and Naka being the female. And these steps aren't actually too badly placed. Some of them can be quite hellish. Okay, unless this is the main meditation hall, which it is. Not going to worry too much about going into that one. Quite an interesting Buddha images again. There you go, unless there's something else back up the hill. Let's grab the phone and look it up real quick. I'm thinking maybe that's it. You know what? The other temple that I was referring to where we took some photos the other day, this might be the back side of it. Like it's up on the temple and this is, you come around the back and then come back through here. I'll check on the phone though before I ask the guys. Okay, so I just checked on the phone. It does seem like that's the extent of it at this one, and that's okay. That's the smaller one. And now squeaky seat again. Looks to be maybe 4 or 5 monks there. But, yeah. That Buddha image was a little bit different to that last one we saw, but they all have their different inspiration from different eras. And if you go to say like Sukhothai or Uttia and things like that, they take on a different, image. And then the ones in like Myanmar and Laos and everything like that, different expressions and whatnot. If you're around for one of the live streams on Twitch, you would have seen when we went to Wat Prakao, the original home of the Emerald Buddha, before it was moved to Bangkok. It lived in Chiang Rai, and it was buried inside of a stupa. And the story goes that one day lightning hit the stupa, cracked it open, and the abbot of the temple found the Emerald Buddha inside covered in mud. Covered in mud because in the previous hundreds and hundreds of years Adi. In the previous hundreds of years, there was lots of fighting over that Emerald Buddha that lived in, you know, Laos and Vientiane and Myanmar, and went back and forth hundreds of years. You know, ransacked and stolen, and until it was hidden at Wat Prakau. My pronunciation isn't perfect. Pomfarang. I'm a foreigner, so I have at least some excuse. And we're all always learning, right? Every day's a new day. But yeah, until it got moved to Bangkok. There's a little bit of a history lesson for you. But as part of Wat Prakau in Chiang Rai, there's the museum. And you can see a whole range of different Buddha images and things like that from different eras, different times, and different styles and things like that. But not only that, what I find interesting is the ones that your layman's would make and carve out of wood by hand and then donate to the temples to make merit and boon. And they're quite interesting. I find them quite interesting because that's coming from, you know, the populace. And, you know, filtered through the subjectivity of the individual as well. And I suppose their creative abilities. I forget the name of the other thing. It's like maybe people can put this in the chat. I keep forgetting I'm not live streaming, but maybe you can put it in the comments. What is the name of that other little house where it'd be great to go up in there actually, because that goes to a little hill and looks out over the top. However, that's someone's property, so I want to respect that. But there's another little house down here with a little pond at the back of it. It's super cool. Here we go. Here it is. Yeah, I like this sort of house. I reckon it probably wouldn't be great for mosquitoes at night, but one there. Pretty cool, yeah. Maybe someone in there. Okay, where were we? Yeah, the other little. It's like when there's people up in here. Yeah, when the Ajahn would speak Tripitaka, the three baskets, the three different groupings of teachings of the Buddha, he will sit in like a raised, sorry, I can't remember the name of it, little throne type thing, spiky roof, like a dochada. Anyways, people would make those and carve those and then give those to the temple, so they're all really interesting to look at. And again, I find that interesting because it's not necessarily being filtered through the sangha. It's not being filtered through the organized, you know, temple structure and people and that, but it's coming directly from the layman. So again, you have a mixture of their understanding about what they're making, but then their own interpretation and their artistic side, and then whatever's flowing through their unconscious, and then whatever effects and whatever things are having an effect on their unconscious mind at the same time. So then we get really deep into the metaphysics of things and all that. So I find that quite interesting. But let's continue on. Let's get those legs pumping and get the blood moving, maybe a little less in the brain and then back into the legs, eh? Some giraffe in there. sale or rent. So if you like the look of it, pause frame and give them a call. As we go up the hill. Hey mate. Take you up here, have a look at the temple real quick where we took the photos on the last stream. So if you remember back, we're on the other side of the river not too long ago. And I was pointing over to here. Oh. When you're talking and riding the bike, you get a little bit puffed. So where were we, team? Can we picture it? Where were we along here? Where were we? $1 million question. Crops are thriving down the bottom here, having awesome access to the river. I can't really picture it, I'm sorry. Obviously we went through here on the bike and went, but we posted up at the back of that little temple. You know what, it could even be through the other side of that tree line. But nonetheless, let's continue on. I got a really nice picture of this temple when I last was here on the live stream. While that sun was setting just over the hills, it was a little bit more to the right. And I got it so it like the lens flared out on the head of this naga. However, what kind of wrecked it was this. This was in the way. And as you can see, it does a fair deal to remove the aesthetics from the image when you have that in frame. I'll have a quick look and see if they're open in here. Looks like it is, so just a moment. If anyone's wondering what these are essentially to depict the different stories of the different teachings of the Buddha at different stages. And shout out to John once again for this image that you don't see quite often, the emaciated Buddha encompassing the left-hand path approach towards enlightenment. Left-hand path being the unorthodox approach of asceticism. However, it must be said that at the end of his ascetic practices, he did say that it is an unnecessary way of going about achieving Nibbana. However, through that process, you did gain more insight quicker and deeper than the other. However, he did not recommend it for the vast majority of people, and that it was to a certain extent unnecessary and a manifestation of, maybe you could say, the ego potentially, but maybe an important part for some. We have Mare Torani here wringing out her hair. Water's flowing from her hair as the Buddha sits under the Bodhi tree. And we have the armies of Mara trying to attack the Buddha. And at that point in time, when he's trying to achieve, you know, maintain his samadhi and achieve nibbana, the armies of Mara attacked, and you see them personified on the left hand side, those personifications being personifications, but also being metaphorical, psychological, metaphysical, and I would say a function of the psychopomps being subtle bodied energies that make up the archetypes, and then the archetypes being those powerful forces within the unconscious mind of the individual. However, different lineages and different people will have different thoughts and feelings about that. However, that's just the personal take. And then again, the different stories depicted there. And we have the different Tewada, the Buddhist angels and whatnot. And we have the Naga, which I spoke about that earlier, the male and female. However, I believe these are both male, if I'm not misunderstood. A nice looking temple. Sorry, we weren't setting out to do a deep dive into Theravada Buddhism, but it seems like that's what you're getting anyway, a little bit of it. If you've been along for the ride so far, you probably don't mind. Happy to have you along. We have the big chetty at the back. Anyone that doesn't know, relics and things get put inside of these, and you can think of this as like a big spiritual antenna that both shoots up and then down as well. And then you'll see people rotating around the base with prayers and things, and the idea is that it charges up. It goes up through the physical into the metaphysical. Then also has a function of bringing down as well. We won't get too deep into it at the moment, but if you are interested in that type of stuff, by all means, let me know in the comments or the chat. Or I should note as well, with that, it just came to my mind as I walked past here and looked over here and saw this other Mare Taurani image over here sitting in the garden. See all the water that will come in and around her. Is that when he was doing that meditation, the way in which he called her forth, Mare Taurani is also like the earth goddess, right? And so as Mara came to him and said, you know, you're not going to gain enlightenment, you can't do it, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember the actual mudra, but left hand is in meditation posture, and then his right would come over his knee and then touch the ground. And you would have maybe seen images of that before. And that's essentially the calling forth the earth goddess mudra, in which then she came forward and gave account for his meditative efforts. And then she wrings out all that water, and that water then floods the army of Mara away. Mara being essentially like the negative psychological force, or the negative personified deity within Buddhism. But yeah, I've just noticed we got about 3 minutes left on the GoPro, so I'm going to stop yapping, maybe do a couple little short ones to go along the way, and then we're going to be home. So thanks for stopping by. Stay with us, we've got about 2 minutes left, and yeah, we'll get going. Yeah, so essentially when we were talking earlier, when we were making our way here and we turned right to go past the prison, that's the road that went straight. The road that went straight, that's what we're going to loop back onto, and it'll be pretty much the same the way back. We've got about just over 2 minutes left of storage here, so do a little bit more recording down by the river and that, and then happy to catch you on the next one. But if you do like the style of content, by all means, follow, subscribe, double check your notifications, make sure they're turned on, and it just means that you'll be able to get notified, ideally if everything's working correctly, and yeah, you'll be able to see future content. But yeah, thanks for coming by. It's like I've had you along for the ride with me, and yeah, some cool little houses along here. It would have been really interesting during the flood to see how far that water came up. And it looks like there was a bit of a water line, maybe 30 to 60 centimeters up on the sides. We're running out of storage space, team. Got a couple of seconds left, so I'll give you a quick look at this temple. I'll come back another time, but in the meantime, let's get a couple more seconds. Go, 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 low, low, low. I haven't come all this way to turn around just because you're barking. G'day, mate. Okay, team, let's continue. So, thankfully enough, I actually had another little memory card stashed away in our little over-the-shoulder bag. So we popped that in. It's given us an extra roughly 9 minutes. So that was an interesting little temple up there. Interesting little encounter with the dogs as well. But what was even more interesting is something that I don't think I will post. I did record it. There was a few recordings back where I pulled up there along the river after having gone through that temple and having a little chat about the iconography and the stories of the Buddha. I won't go into too much detail about it, but it's interesting where certain very venerable and respected monks, such as Ajahn Chah in Thailand, numerous times have said that the Tevada, or the subtle-bodied beings that inhabit different realms around us, that live inside trees such as the Bodhi tree, that they are listening and watching on occasion, and that there are certain causes and effects of saying certain things, a mixture of both animism and Buddhism. And it was by no, how would you put it? It was quite obvious to me But when I pulled up on the Jackayan, the bicycle, let's have a look at the river at that little point, that something was going on at another level. What do I mean by that? A couple of people there, 2 males and a female. Oh, sorry, 1 male and 2 females. Let's just pause the story for a moment, shall we? Shout out to Ajahn Archelo and his story about this one. The dragon touching the orb or the pearl. And I'll bring that full circle in a moment. It's very interesting that I just ran across those and they just popped up in my consciousness because I didn't see them when I came up, even though they were there. So let's continue. There are certain factors that can either help or hinder certain people along the path. Again, shout out to Ajahn Archelo and his story of going on Tudong and the pizza and the Fanta and the falling rain cigarette. There are certain factors at work, and it's by not just random happenstance that you go and spread certain teachings or words that are of a certain, frequency or inclined towards a certain thing, that you will have within the spirit a certain amount of backlash or equal to or greater force in the opposite direction. And that can embody itself through people, through events, through phenomena. So it makes sense in a way that you would encounter out of the blue a person that would ramble on, not actually speaking Thai or any other language, that would walk past and make a point of rambling these things. It's got really not too much to do with the person as it has to do with what I spoke to before as the psycho pumps, sorry, or those subtle phenomena that are operating in and through the world and in and through people. And it speaks to the metaphysical realities and the fact that not everything is all as it seems. But nonetheless, if we have the right perspective, not necessarily the zoomed in understanding, but the zoomed out understanding of arising and falling phenomena, we can use that to our benefit. But anyway, let's continue on the Jackayan. Let's start pedaling and get that blood out of the brain back into the legs. Let go. Lao. Okay, let's continue. Back on the road. So I did check the phone just before. I think it's around about 4 o'clock, I think, if I remember correctly. Got a lot going on at the moment. Paddy. Yeah, so I've got a little bit of time to get back. We're doing well for timing. Loving it out on the bike today. Oh, this house is really nice as well. I'll give you a quick look at this house here. It's really nice. Style like maybe teak or something. Beautiful plants out the front. As we go up the hill, let's go. Maybe some corn over there. Look at that. Nice view, yeah? Leo, go, go, go. Left, 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 right, left. Almost at the top. We got a nice little hill to go down on the other side. Stick with us. Oi. Buddy. Lots of hellos today, that's good. I was thinking to stop there and have a bit of a sip and arm, but let's continue down here and maybe off to the side and get out of the way. Go! Get those legs moving. Up the hill. There we go. Up. Up. Let's go. I will say, back to that other story I touched on real quick, just came to mind. Just like Mara throwing the spear at Buddha under the Bodhi tree as he's meditating, and essentially alchemically, psychologically, literally turning the spear into a lotus leaf and hitting the ground. Much like when this thing, I'm not dehumanizing the person or anything, I'm looking past the person. When this phenomena exhibits itself, it's interesting to not have that shift your center